Hey everybody, welcome back to Drizzly's low-key Valheim. Today's especially exciting because we're starting a new world, Hard Vanilla, Episode 1, because we're going to pursue it a while. Hard Vanilla is selected not just because it's my stripper name, but because combat is hard, raids are much more frequent, and resources are normal. I've never tried these settings before, and I hope we all get to experience something new. So, normal resources feels difficult for me because on our dedicated community server, the resources were set one tick up at plus 1.5x, which means it's, 1.5 times more, which isn't that much if you're talking about a tree. But since it rounds up, if we're talking about something that there's only one thing of, it rounds up. And so I'm kind of used to getting 2 cores when I pick up a core, 2 rocks when I pick up a rock, 2 sticks when I pick up a rock, 8 leather when I kill a 2-star boar, etc. I like looking around as I'm descending into the area, finding water, because I like to orient myself based on water at the beginning. And it looks like we've got lots of water here, which makes me very happy as the sun comes up and the rain stops, and we gather the sticks and rocks that are right around the circle. Talk to the bird. If you don't know, take the time to read what he says. It was all the instructions we had when the game initially launched some years ago. But even if you do know, talk to him, get him out of your way, because he'll keep flying around and making noise that can scare you sometimes if you're wandering around the Black Forest or something early on. So I really like this water here. I'm not real fond of cairns, not Karens, cairns. I usually put a fire under them, but resources are kind of precious right now. I really like the starting area so far. I really like having a river nearby. I suppose if anybody wants the seed for this world, just ask and I'll pass it on. Yes, so made a stone axe. Thank goodness we're not completely unarmed anymore. We got to keep picking stuff up. Rivers are nice, but and they can be a really good place for a base, but noticing our map, we have water on the other side of the starting point as well. I don't know what you call that thing. Do you call it a summary summoning circle or sacrificial circle, or what do you guys tend to call that place where you come in, the circle where they drop you, which is straight ahead? I am not smashing bushes because I just want to pick things up until I get close to my base. I don't want to make a lot of noise. I don't know where the Black Forest is around here yet, and I don't want to have to tangle with Grey Dwarf brutes, shamans, and all that, just running around Valheim in my underwear. So, I really like this. It's a nice little zone. It's like we're on a little, I don't know, what do they call them? Isthmus? A little narrow strip of land. Straight would be if it was a narrow strip of water, I think, right? So I think it's an isthmus. But it's nice because there's lots of water. If you build a base here, right, you got water on 2 sides. You could have a boat on both sides if you wanted to get around. So this feels good to me. Also, the water on this other side looks like kind of a marshy little area, which is going to have lots of flint, which is something good to have early on. So we're going to gather some rocks. I think eventually I'll speed this up so that you don't feel like, oh my god, when's he going to get to the point? But right now, I think while we're exploring, we'll just kind of share the experience and find happy little sticks and happy little flints, and look for shallow spots like this because you can walk. Sometimes they'll help you get all the way across the water or nearly, and there are also places where flint and rocks deposit. You can pretty much stand, sometimes know that you're not going to get wet by looking where the emergent vegetation is, especially the cattails there, because and that's not that big a deal where you see there, but if you're trying to judge the distance to where you can touch the bottom, it's a good thing to keep track of. The plants aren't just random. It's kind of ecological in that, there has to be enough light reaching the bottom of the body of water for the plants to make up for their metabolism so they can germinate and grow. And I don't know if that was intentional, but all the emergent vegetation is in shallow water and where you can touch the bottom, and very often it's where you actually won't get wet if you're running through it. So that's a pretty nice way to gauge your way across a wetland. I like kicking graylings. They deserve to be kicked. And especially if I didn't have an axe yet, it would be good to kick them out in the water because it puts them out of reach. So they're not going to be whittling down. I tried some of the hard combat setting once before and was immediately killed by 4 necks, which is unusual for me. I usually don't die till like 160 days or something when I'm trying something stupid. But they do more damage, and so it's good to be aware of that. Keep them away from you if you're unarmed. If you have an axe, kill them. See, it took like, I don't know, 3 hits to smack that little grayling down. Granted, we have like 1 axe skill. Oh my god, yes. I didn't think we would find this possibly on day 1! Exclamation point. Hashtag blessed! Exclamation point again. Yeah, so I'm gonna head over there. It's already in the afternoon, and we need to set up a camp for the night, so I'm eager to get there. So let's just gather some meat and gather some resources and get our ass over there. Because in October, the Call to Arms update introduced some new items. Mysterious axe head and a curious axe head. And I've only ever found the curious axe head in one of those little buildings like that. I'll slow down when I get over there. But it is little, they're like a meadow shack, but they're in the form of a little tower. You could maybe see it there for a sec. And so we're going to camp there tonight. I haven't found the curious axe head in all of those buildings I found, but in some of them I found. And so I'm kind of eager to get over there. The other axe head is usually in a small A-frame. So if we find one here, then we're halfway towards getting an improved axe that will be really, really helpful. So for as eager as I am to get there, it's like a kid. See how that's a little tower-like building with no roof in it. Um, those those buildings don't seem to be that common. They usually seem to be on the edge of fields, but I've also found them in the woods. So all of these buildings have a little shelf above the entrance, and all of them that I've seen have a chest in it. There, right there. See there? And yes, we have the curious axe head. So we're halfway towards having the early axes dual wielding weapon set, which is quite a find because it lets you cut down hard trees like birch and um, oak. It lets you repair at a workstation, so you don't need to have a forge. And you can update it just with some wood and boar hide. So it's a really good find early in this game where combat is going to be hard, and we're taking our time because raids are also much more frequent, and we don't want to uh, hurry and get kill Eikthyr and then constantly be raided by grey dwarves and trolls and things. But we want to be able to keep progressing while we're waiting to do that. So this could be a very good find. Traditionally, I found that it's harder to find this one because these buildings seem to be harder to find. I don't know if that's true or if it's just me, but that's a good thing for us, is finding that. So that's good. Now, when I found it in another game, I was both the other times I found them. I already had either a bronze, fully upgraded axe or a iron axe, and it didn't really change the game for me. But I think this early on, with these combat conditions, I think it could be a real boon for us little Vikings. So we're going to stay the night. It's getting dark. We've got a nice roof over our heads. Got a nice fire. I like to put these things off to the side. I know a lot of people like to put 3 or 4 on top, but I like to be able to run by and just throw some wood on the fire without clicking on the cooking station. So I'll go with just 2 of them. We got the bed. It's getting pretty dark, and even though it's not nighttime yet, sun's setting in the west. Get our meat. Get our annoying bird friend off of our bed, which he makes a pretty good nightlight. If he would get out, if he was more consistent, we'd keep him around for that. He wants to talk to us about our bench. We want to go to sleep. We want a door. Yeah, so there are enemies nearby, so we got to kill some enemies, like this bird, maybe. Boom. Oh, there's our enemy right there. So we go from our enemy and we go to bed. Grab some wood just because we're gratuitous wood gatherers. And we go to bed. And so, oh yeah, we should make a light. And so ends day 1. We've had 0 raids. We found an axe head, a curious axe head, and now we can start thinking about day 2, which, welcome to day 2, which is nice. That's the nice thing about sleeping at night, is that the dark period goes by faster. Welcome to day 2, and stay tuned for our story about day 2 and probably day 3 next time on Drizzly's Low-Key Valheim. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you like my low-key Valheim storytelling. Have a great day.